Welcome back, guys, to Fire Emblem Three Houses. Last time was the war at Gronder Field, and we faced off against not only the Imperial Army, but also the Alliance. So it was a free-for-all, just like the Battle of Eagle and Lion that we did all those years ago. Blue Lions versus Black Eagles versus Golden Deer, but this time it's to the death. And I felt like this was such an effective way to really hit home to the audience that we used to be friends, we used to be classmates, and now we're enemies. Thinking about the good old days, a sense of nostalgia, a lot of pain. I struggled really hard because after what happened with Ferdinand and Lawrence, I didn't want to deal with that pain anymore. I didn't want to kill any more of my students. So I tried really hard, and I was able to not kill anybody except Ignatz did get taken out by the Imperials, and I think I could have prevented it, but at that point I had to move on. But I was really determined to have as few casualties as possible. I don't care about experience at this point. The other day I was editing through some of the earlier episodes to post onto YouTube, and I saw a scene again where we're talking with Gerald, and he's talking about Leonie. And he's asking Byleth or Bunleth to watch over her and to keep her safe. And I couldn't imagine if I ended up killing her in this battle and then going back and editing and hearing that conversation. I was already like crying, but oh my god, it would have been so much worse. This game is amazing. Let's play some more. Go Blue Lions!
Part 2. Azure Moon. Heartstring Moon. The King's Triumphant Return.
The King's Triumphant Return?
Following the death of Rodrigue, Dimitri begins to question his desire for revenge. His troubled mind turns to the kingdom capital and how he might end the chaos plaguing Fargus once and for all.
Hi, party. Hi, Wonka.
Our victory at Gronder was certainly a turning point for us.
And we only lost Ignatz.
However, Rodrigue's death has been difficult to bear. We've lost considerable military strength and resources.
Are there no lords we can rely on?
Unfortunately, with things as they are now, I don't think House Gautier has any resources to spare.
I'm sorry. I really wish we could help. If only House Galatea had anything to give.
If we split up the soldiers currently defending the monastery, we should have sufficient numbers to invade the Empire. But even then...
Your Highness, you should be resting. Your wounds are still healing.
I am well, I assure you. More importantly, may I have a moment of your time? Thank you. I wish to apologize to all of you. I have led you down this dark path with me, and have caused so much suffering along the way. I cannot tell you how sorry I am for my behavior. There is no apology I could offer that would be sufficient.
And how do you intend to make up for my father's death?
Felix, I realize words alone are not enough to repent, but I fear they are all I have.
I'm not after more empty words. I want you to speak through your actions.
Felix is understandably agitated right now. I mean, Dimitri sent us straight towards Embar, and Rodrigue probably wouldn't have died if Dimitri would have just calmed down and thought of a better way, or just thought at all.
I know that no amount of regret can ever bring back the lives we have lost. I know that well. It is like patching up a tear with a different material. Things can never be as they were. The best I can hope for is to make things whole again. I wish to do the right thing from now on. That is why I have made a decision. I intend to take back the Kingdom Capital. I wish to save our people. Those who I turned my back on for far too long.
Okay. This is good.
To follow my heart and do the right thing. That is the only way I can atone for my sins.
Your Highness.
Gilbert's like, fucking finally!
If we can win back Ferdiad, it will give us the advantage in our war against the Empire. As one who has served the royal family for ages, know that your words bring me great joy and pride. That said, I must point out that if we make for Ferdiad, the Emperor's head will slip further out of reach. Can you live with that?
I still hold hatred in my heart for her, and for the ones responsible for the tragedy. That I will carry with me until death. But my life is my own. It belongs to no one else, and it is high time that I started living for what I believe in.
Yes! The music, man.
I will no longer allow the voices of the dead to bind me. This is something that I must do. No. Something that I am choosing to do. I will accomplish my aim, even if it means risking my life to do so.
Understood, Your Highness. So, any objections?
Count me in.
You are correct. We cannot afford to die in vain by recklessly challenging the Empire.
I'm worried about Lady Rhea. But if this is the choice you've made, I support it.
I am at your command, Your Highness. I will follow you anywhere.
My sword is at your service, Your Highness.
I'll help too. The people in Ferdiad need us.
Fine, I'll help you, in my father's stead. But in return, you must win. You know that, don't you, Dimitri?
I do. And I swear on my father's lance that we will prevail.
Then it is decided. It seems this war council has much to discuss. Our next stop is Ferdiad, the kingdom capital, for the future of Fargus.
Oh, finally. Fucking finally. Fucking finally. I remember this spot. What are you doing?
Sleep evades me, so I thought I'd get in some extra training. I was just about to finish. Perhaps it is the gloomy weather, but I am feeling the sting of wounds that should have healed long ago.
What wounds?
The injury I got when that girl stabbed me after the battle at Gronder.
Oh. She did, like, make contact?
Her eyes were filled with revenge, just as mine once were.
Who was she?
I don't know, but I have a guess. I suppose I haven't told you about that yet.
What are you talking about?
I was attacked inside the monastery the other day. It caused quite the uproar.
Hmm?
The ones who attacked me were some of the youths we taught swordsmanship to once upon a time.
Why did they do it?
It seems they were raised by a group of thieves we put down 5 years ago. I heard Lady Rhea took custody of them, claiming that the children were innocent. I have taken so many lives, and with each one, I face hatred. During the last 5 years, especially. My life was not so different from that of a wild beast, and that young girl's brother. At some point, I must have... That is why I thought it only natural that someone would retaliate someday. Because I hated. Because I stole and... because I killed. But with those children, it's different. We drew our blades with the best of intentions, only to hurt them in the end. I suppose this is yet another thing we will just have to live with.
It's part of the job.
Yes. As one who chose to fight, it is my responsibility to confront this anguish and the true nature of war. Until the day my life comes to an end.
We can confront it together.
Thank you.
It's... oh my gosh. It's so nice to see him smile again. And not like in a murderous, like, I'm gonna chop her head off smile, you know?
You know, Professor, there is something that I only recently realized. I never knew it could be so comforting to have someone standing by my side.
We've all been here. Support level A. Oh, okay. Oh. Oh God. I don't know about all this. Dimitri and literally everybody. Ooh, we have Felix and Mercedes too. You know, let's start with Dimitri and Felix. Actually, no. Let's start with Dimitri and Dedu. Then we'll do Felix.
Your Highness, you still have scars on your back. It does you no good to languish in pain. I will procure some medicine.
So, were all of these A ranks locked out until now? I mean, I know they've been locked, but like, what I'm trying to say is if you tried to max out all your supports early game, they would have got stuck no matter what until this point in the game. So all of these conversations are definitely like post 5-year skip and okay. Okay. Well, that's good because that's what I want. Okay.
No, it is fine. Though they are still deep, these are from 9 years ago. They do not hurt any longer. Besides, it would be a shame if the scars I got from protecting you were to fade. I bear these scars proudly. It makes me think that it was worthwhile that someone like me survived.
What? That's a huge thing for him to say. He's been living with survivor's guilt this whole time.
To hear you say such things.
Right?
Dedu, you say that I saved you. But do you know that you also saved me that day? If I had been unable to save anyone, I would have been the sole survivor. I would have had no reason to keep living.
Thank God we did Dedu's paralogue, because goddamn, if we didn't.
But I saved someone. saved you. That and that alone has always been my crutch.
When I stood before those soldiers and their swords that day, I was prepared to die. But then, you suddenly appeared, and you shielded me. I knew then that a savior's hand could reach into even the deepest darkness. I still have not been able to repay that debt.
Have you not heard a word I've said? You have saved me in countless ways. 5 years ago, I did nothing but await my execution within my jail cell. Was it not you that saved me?
That was nothing more than my duty as your vassal.
Listen, Dedue, perhaps you consider me to be someone special.
I think you're someone special, Dimitri. Just very broken.
But I think the same of you. You are irreplaceable, cherished. So stop saying that we cannot be friends. Stop saying such awful things.
Please, do not look at me that way. You promised me you would build a kingdom that is proud to boast of Duscar blood. In this kingdom, where there is no distinction between the people of Duscar and the people of Fodlan, will I finally, without reservation, be able to call you my friend? Will I, Dimitri?
Dedue's voice sounds so soft right now, like he's... usually he just sounds different. The tone of his voice sounds different, like... he's torn down some of his walls that he puts up.
Dedue. Yes, you will call me your friend again and again, no matter how many hardships I must endure.
I will do all I can to bring about that world as well. To be your friend is what I have always wanted.
Is that so? I am glad to hear it.
I'm glad to hear Dimitri sounding like Dimitri and not like, kill them all.
But until that time, we must allow no harm to befall you. So please call upon me when you walk alone at night. And even when you go out in the day, please tell me where you are going and whom you are meeting.
Okay, look, you're my friend, not my dad.
In the end, I suppose there is no fixing your overprotectiveness, is there? I suppose I can live with that.
Oh. Dimitri and Felix.
I have a question for you. Answer quickly before my hand slips and I cut you in half.
Okay.
Always so ominous. Well, what is it, Felix?
Sometimes you have an animal's face, contorted with anger and bloodlust. At other times, a man's with a friendly smile. Which is your true face?
Do not waste your breath on questions with such obvious answers. They are both the real me.
That's a good answer.
My father, my friends, Glenn, they all meant a great deal to me, and they were all brutally slaughtered. I alone survived. If I do not shoulder the anguish and regret they must have felt, who will?
So that's how you justify your atrocities.
What do you mean?
I will fulfill my duty to the late king. My old man used to say that over and over like a mantra. How nauseating. No one seems to understand. The dead won't acknowledge your loyalty. They don't care. What a load of bunk it is, pretending to serve a corpse. You're serving your own ego.
Oh my god, spitting facts.
You are wrong.
Is he though? Think about it.
No, I'm not. The dead are dead. The living are living. You have to respect that boundary. If you keep stringing gravestones around your neck, you'll snap.
Even still, I cannot forget them, nor can I let them go.
Then keep those thoughts to yourself. If you're too weak to do that, abandon your throne. Become a gravekeeper.
Oh. Become a gravekeeper. Damn.
Felix.
I'm not immune to emotion, you know. Far from it.
Oh. Shit's getting real.
I haven't gone a day without questioning why my father and brother had to die, while I survived.
Seems like you two have a lot in common.
I'll bear this pain until the day I die, but I refuse to wallow in it. I have more important things to do than blubber for my whole life.
You know, Felix, you really are growing more and more like your brother. Always so sarcastic and constantly looking for a fight. But deep inside, more than anyone, you...
What are you getting at?
Oh, it's nothing. But allow me to thank you. Your perspective has opened my eyes.
Not my intention.
What a liar.
I couldn't stand the pathetic look on your face, that's all.
Okay, Felix.
I see. If you say so, then we will leave it at that.
That was crazy good. Oh my god. Oh. Oh, we have a lot. We have a lot. We have a lot. Alright, let's just keep going down the line. Dimitri and Mercedes.
Good evening, Dimitri. Have you come to pray?
Something like that. And you?
Oh yes, that's why I'm here. I love how calm and peaceful the cathedral is this late at night.
It really is.
Coming here on a quiet night always makes me think of those who aren't with us anymore. We've lost so many in this war, too many to count.
We lost Mickey Mouse. Oh.
I hope they all get to live in eternal happiness at the goddess's side. These prayers are all I have to offer.
You are a kind soul, Mercedes.
I think you're kind too, Dimitri. Sometimes to a fault.
Kind? Me? No, not at all. I am just a killer. A disgusting monster.
It's so like Mercedes to just see the good in someone.
But why do you kill? For the sake of your loved ones? Those who have passed? Real monsters kill for selfish reasons. They're incapable of expressing sorrow when they kill. So please, don't call yourself a monster.
Mercedes, I am scared. So scared that I will forget their faces. The people who have died, who I have killed. I cannot let myself forget them.
I mean, if you're someone like Dimitri and you can't forget the people who you've lost and the people who you have killed, that's so many faces. That's so many people on both sides. You really gotta let go. Like, you really need to move on, guy.
I know that, and yet, whatever my feelings, it is all the act of a monster.
And that's why it consumed him.
It's sad, but the truth is that people forget. You may be afraid to forget your past, but you'll never be able to revisit it.
You may be afraid to forget your past, but you'll never be able to revisit it.
Living in the present is the best we can do. We owe it to those who can't come back.
If someone had said those words to me 5 years ago, I would be a different man today.
What do you want to do now, Dimitri? Continue fighting for those who have died? Not as a king, but as my classmate. What do you want to do?
My own dreams. I have never given it any thought. What about you? What do you want, Mercedes?
I want to keep sewing and training with you, even after you've become king. I want to be your friend.
When Dimitri was apologizing to everybody and he was saying that trying to fix things is like, what did he say? It's like trying to repair a piece of cloth with like a different type of cloth. I was thinking about him and Mercedes. Like, I don't think he would have used that analogy if they hadn't like sewn together.
But I have no right to stand beside you.
Please, I can't hear any more of this self-deprecation. I just want to be by your side. Is that...
Mercedes.
Oops, I'm sorry.
I want the same thing. If you allow it, I wish to stay by your side.
Dimitri, hello? Did you forget about me? What is this?
I'm glad I'm not the only one who feels that way.
Is she stealing my man?
Let's spend a little more time here together. Just the two of us.
Wait, stop! Mercedes, you better watch yourself at night. I'm coming for you. Okay. Dimitri and Annette.
Your Highness, I have one more favor to ask.
Is this about Gustav again? I have plenty more stories about him, but perhaps it is time for you to speak with him yourself.
Oh, it's not about Father this time. This time I wanted to ask about you.
About me?
I mean, I heard all about Father last time, but I didn't ask about you.
Ah, well, I'm afraid there is not much of interest for me to tell you.
Oh, it doesn't have to be funny or interesting. That's not why I'm asking. It's just that I thought I already knew you, but I'm not sure I really do. That day when we were reunited at the monastery, I didn't know what to say to you.
Well, he kind of made himself unapproachable, so it's not really your fault, Annette.
So I wanted to prepare some of your favorite food. I thought maybe if you ate something that you liked, you'd cheer up a little. But when I got to the kitchen, I realized I didn't even know what you like to eat.
I see. Well, it's a little hard to say what my favorite is. I just don't really have any strong feelings about food.
He is a monster. I could get past the killings and the revenge and the maniacal laughing and shit, but he doesn't have any strong feelings about food? What?
That said, you're pretty keen on sweet things, right, Annette?
Yes, that's right. I'm at my happiest when I'm digging into a sweet treat. Oh, did you know there's a famous sweets shop in the capital?
Yes. It often had long lines outside, didn't it? The castle guards often spoke of it.
The sweets were so good. They cost a fortune, but I loved them. When Father was still around, we all lived as a family in the capital. Since then, I've had them only a few times. How I'd love to taste them again.
Say, Annette, when this war is over, where will you go? I heard that you were close to Baron Dominic back in the academy days.
That's right. But that's not where I think I'd like to go when all of this is over. I reconnected with Father, so I'd like to live with my family again, in the capital.
Oh, wouldn't that be so nice?
Also, if I'm in the capital, I'll be able to see you from time to time, right?
Ah, that settles it then. We'll have to get your father working twice as hard.
Father's at a ripe old age now. I'd appreciate it if you didn't work him too hard.
Oh, of course. I will keep that in mind.
Did you hear that, Gilbert? You're an old man. Okay, they still have one more that they can do, I think. Yeah, one more little carrot. Let's do Dimitri and Gilbert. C rank.
Gustav, it has been 8 years since I last called you by that name.
Your Highness, I must deeply apologize for leaving the kingdom without permission.
There is no need to explain, old friend. I can guess at your reasons. The tragedy of Duscur. You felt responsible for that incident and sought respite in the goddess, abandoning your name, rank, and homeland in repentance. Am I right?
I have no excuses to offer. It was all I could think to do.
I always knew you for a pious man, and I figured that if you were to leave, this is where you would end up. You have changed much. Your face does not have the same resolve it once did.
If I may, Your Highness, you have changed as well.
I can't disagree.
I don't think anybody could.
It was my duty to protect His Majesty, your father. Naturally, that also included Lady Patricia and yourself as well.
My father and mother are gone. No amount of regret will bring them back.
My dreams are haunted by the thought that, had I arrived at Duscur more swiftly...
You saved my life at Duscur. I have only gratitude for you, no blame to speak of. I wish for you to remain in the kingdom, Gustav, even after this conflict is over. I need your strength to help rebuild the ravaged land that Faerghus has become.
Please, I beg your forgiveness. But there is no place left for me in that land.
Yeah, he's got to go home to his wife and live with his wife and daughter. Be a happy family again.
I see. Though much has changed, your stubbornness remains. I have no desire to trouble you. If you do not wish to return, that is your choice to make. But I do advise you to at least visit the place of your birth. If only for your family's sake.
Yes, Your Highness. Thank you. I appreciate your concern.
Woo! Still got a lot more. Ingrid and Dimitri.
Finally, you score a point against me on the ground. You have improved, Ingrid.
That was nothing more than a fluke. My technique was horribly sloppy that last round.
It does not matter what sort of technique it was. You won. If this had been a real battle, I would be dead. You wielded your lance well, without any hesitation. Has your approach changed?
You may recall when I said I'm now able to move on, because of you.
I remember. What did you mean by it?
That I finally understand a truth about Glenn. It sounds as though he died with a heavy heart. A heart that carried regret. I had suspected as much. But instead of acknowledging it, I twisted my memory of him to fit an ideal I've been upholding.
I see.
Your Highness, I will not sacrifice my life for anyone. But perhaps instead, I can live my life for someone. I will pledge my life to you.
The king!
And how exactly am I meant to interpret that?
That she will serve you as a knight serves her king, Dimitri, and that's it. Don't get any ideas.
However you please, Your Highness.
Oh my god, Ingrid!
Oh? Well then.
Be strong, Dimitri!
Ingrid, when this is all over, I want you to support and defend me, as my knight.
Damn straight. Damn straight.
I have been thinking of telling you this for a long time. We get along well, you and I.
As your knight, yes, yes, of course.
Oh, oh, Ingrid.
Of course I will. I intended to do so for the sake of the kingdom.
She's so adorable right now, though. Don't let these other women take your man. I know.
Together, Your Highness. You and I. Our first order of business. Putting this tragic war to an end.
Yes. And while we're at it, do not die on me, Ingrid. Promise me that.
We've seen enough death. Yes, no more.
Yes, Your Highness. I swear it on my lance.
Whew. Whew. Man. Okay. Dimitri and Marianne.
Spared again.
So it would seem. I told you that you were extraordinarily lucky.
Oh yeah. She getting them crits. She a lucky girl on the battlefield.
Sometimes I think that must be true. But why me? Is this the goddess's way of telling me to make something of myself? There are so many others who are much more deserving of life.
I often think the same of myself, especially after battles where many lives were lost. But I must go on living. I cannot give in to death so readily. It is my duty to atone for my sins and to pay for the lives I've taken. I suppose that must be why the goddess allows me to live on.
Is there a reason she allows me to live?
Only you can know that. But I believe there is a reason. Marianne, life is difficult.
It is a burden. It feels terrible to continue standing when so many others had to fall.
If that is so, then carry on as you are. There is no need for you to force yourself to smile as your soul bleeds. But please, whatever you do, do not give up on yourself or your precious life.
What do you mean?
If you were to die, I would be devastated.
You never have been easy to read.
The rare Marianne giggle?
Is that so?
Everyone says that I need to cheer up, but you may be the first person to tell me not to. Your life must also be difficult for you to understand my position.
So it is. I often feel I am not strong enough to live it.
I think our difficulties have brought us closer together.
Do you?
Absolutely. Please, Dimitri, promise you'll live through this war and long after. I don't know what I'd do with myself if we lost you.
As long as you are carrying on, I have yet another reason to carry on myself. I promise to the goddess of Fodlan that I will never give you cause to despair.
Okay. Dedue. Dedue, we love us some Dedue and Ingrid.
Dedue? Are you okay? You look unwell.
Ingrid. Is my face frightening?
What? I mean, or sort of? Or not exactly. I wouldn't use the word frightening. Aggressive, maybe? But it's really nothing to worry about. Why? Did someone say something cruel?
I made a village child cry.
Oh.
Oh, I see. Let me guess. You feel like you look frightening, so you walked around with a smile glued to your face.
How did you know?
I'm starting to understand how you think. The thing is, forced smiles never work well.
No,
they
they
usually
don't.
just end up making a person look creepy and insincere.
Yeah.
I see. Duly noted.
To be honest, when we first met, I was pretty intimidated by you. Not because of a smile, but a lack of any emotion whatsoever. And you so rarely spoke. I had no idea what to make of you. But that's only because I wasn't making an effort to get to know you, because you were from Dusker. As I started to get to know you, to understand your personality, I realized what a fool I'd been.
Personality.
You may come off intimidating, but underneath that cool exterior is a kind, loyal, and noble person. A really wonderful person.
I agree.
In a certain regard, you are one of the knightliest people I know. What is it?
Wonderful person. This is the first time anyone has ever said a thing like that to me. It is rather awkward.
It's only awkward if you make it awkward. Which it kind of is, now.
What? They're both blushing? What's happening? What is going on?
Well, let me know if you need anything.
Yes, of course. Same to you, Dedu.
Oh my gosh, there's so many blushings going on all over the place. Oh, we got Felix. Felix and Mercedes. Okay. Okay. Hello?
Do you need something? Let's hear it.
Oh, no, I don't need anything. I was just hoping to talk to you, Felix.
When I said you could be near me, I meant on the battlefield. You're pushing it a little too far. You better not start calling me Emil.
You know, I'm not just using you as a stand-in for my brother. I don't mean to upset you, but I've come to realize that you two don't have that much in common after all.
I don't understand. Why are you hanging around me if not to replace your brother?
It's not that I want to be near Emil, but I want to be near you.
What?
What?
How embarrassing. It must sound like I'm coming on to you.
A little bit, yeah.
Regardless, you've made it clear that you don't want me around.
No. It's not that.
Good. Then I'll continue to spend time at your side.
She is smart. Oh my gosh. She is manipulating him so well right now.
What a perplexing creature.
You fell right for her trap.
What's that? Did you say something? Never mind that. Why don't we go out for a nice cup of tea?
I can't think of a reason to refuse your invitation, so I suppose I have to accept.
He's blushing too. Annette and Gilbert. Their final run.
Hello, Father. May I have a moment?
Of course.
Okay.
I read all your letters. You never stopped writing them, did you? My birthday, Mother's birthday, every possible occasion, without fail.
Yes.
So why didn't you send any of them? If you had sent even one, we would have...
Each time I thought to send one, I could not do so. Such behavior belittled my penance. Time passed, and with it my feelings of guilt toward you and your mother grew. Even though I wrote the letters, I could not send them.
I would always talk about it with Mother. If only he'd write us at least once, we'd say.
Oh.
We waited and waited. All those long years.
I am sorry.
I'm tired of hearing it, so just stop. Your apologies change nothing. Send those letters to Mother. She'll be happy to hear from you.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
I cannot.
What?
In that case, why don't I send them?
I have given them to you. They are yours to do with as you wish.
All right then. I'll send them. You don't get to take it back afterwards. Father, you should know that they made me happy.
Happy?
Well, yeah. Come on, Gilbert. How thick-skulled are you?
Knowing that you were thinking of us all along. We were worried about you, Mother and I. Neither of us ever came out and said it, but we thought maybe you hated us. Were trying to forget all about us.
Never. I swear it on His late Majesty and on my homeland.
I see. All right. Then swear. Swear that someday, when this war is over, you'll come back to us.
Please, Gilbert.
I hear you, Annette.
Yay.
I will return without fail.
Yay.
No matter what. That's a promise you just made. If you break it, I'll never speak to you again.
Yes, I promise.
Great. Now I'm positively elated. I can't wait until we're all a family again.
Oh, I'm so happy for her.
I look forward to it, Annette. More than anything.
Yay! Oh, that's all of them. Okay. Whew. Okay, things are, you know, this game really, this game is some. This game made me feel so awful, like worse than any game has ever made me feel for such a long amount of time, with Dimitri going through his stuff, with Dedue being dead, and all that pain I felt really makes all of this so worth it and so much better. It's amazing. The stress of saving all of Claude's army except Ignatz, yes, and Petra. And then after trying to save Ignatz, I know. Yeah, Petra lived. We lost Ferdinand, Lorenz, and Ignatz. But you know what? All the girls lived. And that's something very important. You're surprised I could save anyone? Claude was ruthless? Dude, if he didn't, like, break away from the rest of his, students, then I would have been in big trouble. I would have struggled a lot, but luckily he kind of pulled himself out to attack that dragon or whatever, and I took my chance. Hi, Coyote. What are we doing tonight? Crying, but they're happy tears. My question I wanted to ask you guys is, when you guys played your first playthrough, how did that battle go? Without giving away anything about the other paths? Like, you killed them all? Soulblazer, you crushed everyone on the battlefield without mercy? You slaughtered every last one of them for the experience? Ryan, you cried when you realized what you were going to have to do. Okay, at least there's a real person in here. Everyone was gonzo in yours as well, Regis? What? Oh my gosh. Alright, so one thing that I want to do is kind of write down some of the supports that I want to focus on, so that I don't have to keep looking and seeing who's done and who's not. So I kind of want to make a little list of like some of the ones that we can focus on as far as setting adjutants and eating and choir practice and all that stuff. You were recommending Seteth and Bernie before. Okay. When I write them down like this, there's more than I thought that I want to do. I thought I was just gonna write a few down, but there's actually a lot. So let's explore the monastery. Let's go find Dimitri. Let's go down this way first this time.
Right.
We can head towards the place where we do the planting greenhouse.
It's always so peaceful coming back here. But it's hard to relax knowing we have to go out on another expedition again so soon. And now we're headed to the kingdom? That sounds hard. Oh, really hard, don't you think?
You'll be okay. We'll be fine.
Of course you'd say that. Why'd I even ask?
Sorry. I'm sorry. We'll loop around to the kitchen. The dining hall.
Professor?
Gatekeeper! Nothing to report.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report. Ferdiad is a city with a long history that goes back to before Fargus gained its independence. I'd like to visit that place at least once before I die. but I'm afraid I have my own work to attend to. It's hard being so dedicated. Ah well, I'll go there for some leisurely sightseeing once Fodlan knows peace.
Hopefully peace will come.
If you manage to take back Ferdiad, it'll make it a bit easier for us to do business. Taxes in the Fargus dukedom are ridiculously high. Makes it hard to even think about trading. That Cornelia woman. What does she use that ample tax money for anyway?
Breast augmentation.
From the Empire's perspective, I suppose it makes sense to squeeze the former kingdom territories for all they're worth.
It does make sense to squeeze.
But if they throw those territories into total ruin, doesn't that defeat the purpose of conquering them?
Conquering. Who likes boobs? Alright, what's going on over here? Break it up.
I agree that we should head for Ferdiad, but let's not forget our search for Lady Rhea. The soldiers from the church are going to set up a base at the Great Bridge of Murden. They'll be able to keep up the search while we head for the kingdom capital.
Mercedes is always just so... like, nothing really gets her down for too long.
The kingdom capital. It's been way too long since I was there last. Oh, Professor, I didn't mean... it's not that I'm looking forward to it or anything.
You don't have to hide it.
Please don't tease me like that. It's just, when I think of us finally saving everyone in Ferdiad, it makes me a little happy. Okay, maybe a lot happy. The kingdom capital is under the tight control of Cornelia, who was ennobled by the Empire. Judging by what we heard from Lord Rodrigue, it sounds like she's a tyrant. But all of that ends soon. Let's get there quickly.
Okay. Shamir.
So we're turning around and heading for the kingdom capital? Ridiculous. Tell him to cease this nonsense. Isn't there a saying in Fodlan? Something about those with power knowing how to use it.
Wait, do you think it's better that we just continue steamrolling our faces into Envar?
If he's not careful, the goddess will send her saints to smite him. Not that I believe that.
Hey. Is that Ashy Boy I see?
Anyway, I was born and raised in Fargus, but I've never actually been to Ferdiad. Do you think it'll still be cold at this time of year? I can't even imagine.
We should prepare for the cold.
You're right. It's an important battle, so let's make sure we're ready for anything.
It's gonna be a big battle, and you know what?
Really?
Hopefully.
Well...
I won't have to be facing any of my former students, so I can go ham on my enemies.
Yeah.
There's one note. Let's see who it's from. I wonder if a day will come when both the monastery and the Fargus are restored to their former glory. Well, Gilbert, the day will come, we'll make sure of it. Yes. Here's Flane. Dimitri's not here. Staring at this pile of rubble. Like his life turned into. That's good. Wonder where he's at. Maybe he's training or something. Or he's probably at the Knights Hall maybe with Dedue. We'll see.
What? Standing face to face with those whom I went to school with. On the field of battle.
But they all got out alive except for Ignatz. But it wasn't us who did it, okay? So don't worry about it, Flame. Don't feel bad.
How inhuman war is. How horrifying. My heart feels shattered.
I think the game is assuming that I just murdered everybody.
It is my hope that this war marks the end of such foolish behavior.
Same. Knights Hall.
Professor.
I miss when you would call me Professor like that, Dimitri.
I really caused trouble for you, didn't I? I am so sorry, truly.
I forgive you. Just don't go on a murderous rampage again, please.
I am also eternally grateful to you. Now, it's time to go to the kingdom capital. I hope that you will lend me your strength once again.
Always. Always. I kind of want to invite him to tea just to do it, but I think we should... I want to focus on other support rankings.
Everyone is saying His Highness is back to his old self, but I do not think that is accurate. What he was until recently is what he had been for as long as I've known him. So tortured by his compassion for the fallen that it had driven him mad. He has always been too kind to be king. He has always felt too much for the weak and the dead. That is exactly why I look up to him.
Oh.
Okay.
Sylvain.
I don't feel like I can just forget all the awful stuff he's done.
I kind of agree.
But if His Highness is owning up to his past and trying to move forward,
Then we have to support him.
I figure I can give him that chance. We've been friends since we were kids. I'm gonna be there for him all the way to the end.
Good. All we have is each other.
Hey,
Ingrid. Is this Glenn's? Or perhaps it's probably Rodriguez.
We buried Lord Rodriguez's body ourselves. There wasn't time to do things properly. It pains me that I was unable to take him home to his territory. Once this war is over, I'd like to hold a proper funeral for him.
For him and everybody else.
For now, we need to focus on taking back Ferdiad. All will be well eventually. I know we can win.
It seems we are headed for the kingdom capital this month. The Church of Seros stands ready to lend its aid to you and Dimitri. It may be a roundabout route, but I believe this path will still eventually take us to Rhea. Besides, saving the people of Fargus is just what she would want us to do. This is wonderful.
He's a fashionable man, apparently.
I accept.
That's right. Can you believe it, Professor? Dimitri actually apologized to me. Remember that awful business between him and my Uncle Randolph?
Oh, right. That was your... Oh, I forgot.
He just came by and said he was sorry for all that. That was behind us as far as I was concerned. But even so, it seems like he's changed for the better.
Better hope so.
I never used to care whether I lived or died, but after seeing so much death firsthand, I now realize how precious life truly is. I'm ashamed of how arrogant I was to think that death could mean so little.
Oh, Marianne's growing. She's learning. She's so precious. Felix, why is your room all the way down at the end of the damn hall?
He'll need to excel as a leader if he's to make up for my old man's death.
I know, I'm sorry, Felix. It shouldn't have happened like that.
Though if my father could see Dimitri now, he'd be glad to have made the sacrifice.
Did he die a true knight?
Don't you dare tell anyone I said that.
Alright, dining hall time? Oh, there's somebody who we can progress our... Let's see who this is. Somebody liked the gifts I gave them. Oh, it's Seteth. Good. Yes. Yes.
May I discuss something with you?
Please. I would love that.
I promise to help you find the truth of who you are.
Uh-huh.
But I'm afraid it's not that simple. There are some details I have kept concealed.
What details?
5 years ago, before she vanished, I asked Rhea some pointed questions. I learned that she knows everything about you.
I kind of got that feeling myself.
No, that is understating it. Rhea is responsible for your existence.
What do you mean?
I could explain to you here and now what fragments of knowledge I was able to pry from Rhea. I fear, however, that a partial understanding might do you more harm than good. Once we save Rhea, you will know the whole of it.
Are you sure? Because she doesn't really seem to like to talk
For now, that is all I can tell you.
about that kind of thing.
If you are still uncertain about your feelings, then permit me to add one more thing. You, Rhea, and I, we are like family.
We are?
Because of those deep ties, you can be certain that I will never abandon or betray you. On the contrary, I greatly wish to see what your future holds. I am, and will always be, your ally.
I was thinking this is so sweet and I love this, and then Bunless, like, even family members can turn on each other. What the hell? Why are you ruining the moment?
You are not wrong. History is full of examples. I don't believe that will be the case here, but I suppose all I can do is ask for your trust. The truth is, you have become indispensable to me. And that is true quite independently of whether I see eye to eye with Rhea, or even whether we are friends. After this war is over, where I go and what I do will depend wholly on you.
What do you mean?
I am still trying to figure that out myself. Perhaps it is just that I find you so fascinating that I cannot bring myself to leave your side. I dislike a one-sided conversation, but in this case, I am afraid I had no choice. Our future is yours to determine.
Woo! I feel like if you're gonna have anyone on your side, based on what I've seen from how he is with Flane, like, he's the guy you want to be in your corner. He will protect you. He will protect you. Ooh, there's an S rank available with him. Okay, what are we doing? Oh, we're eating now. We're eating now. All right, let's get this show on the road. All right. Let's do some of our newly achieved supports. Then we'll go do some battles. Some side battles. Oh boy, we have a lot. Dedue and Ash.
You're quite late getting back.
The scouting mission didn't go well. I was so busy I didn't even have time to eat.
I thought that might be the case. Gilbert was exhausted too. Glad you made it. I saved some food for you.
Oh, thanks. I'm starving. Your cooking's fantastic, as always. The spices were a nice touch. I can really taste the Dusker inspiration.
I bet it's so good. Oh, it sounds delicious. I don't know. Anything with spices.
You remembered that I wanted to try more Dusker cuisine, didn't you?
Oh yeah, I remember that. Gosh, it feels like so long ago since we did these supports with Dedue and the others.
Yes. How is it?
It's hard to remember exactly what they were talking about.
Amazing. You're a much better chef than I am.
Your cooking is not bad at all.
Thanks. My father would be glad to hear it.
Is he the one who taught you?
Not exactly. I learned from watching him work the kitchen in his restaurant. And what about you? I think you said that you and your sister helped with the cooking at home.
Yes. I learned by watching my mother. Nothing remains of Dusker. The towns, the people, the culture. All of it was put to the torch.
There is some people left.
My mother and sister are gone.
Oh god, we were having a good time, guys. Now it's getting sad again.
Yet that simple memory of them standing together in the kitchen is so clear, so real.
So in a way, you put those memories into this meal.
Yes. Through me, they are able to live on.
I like that way of thinking. The church may not like my feelings on this, but in Fodlan, when people die, they pass on to be with the goddess, right?
I suppose.
That seems so far away. I'd rather they stayed here. My parents, my brother, Lanato, maybe they can all live on through me, too.
As long as you think of them, they will.
Aww.
To do.
Oh, don't cry, Ash.
Your cooking is delicious. It really is.
Careful, or you will oversalt it.
With his tears.
That's all right. Thank you, Dedu.
Eat as much as you'd like.
That was the sweetest thing ever. Okay. They're done. That was really good. That was so good. Felix and Dorothea. Oh yeah. Let's go.
You, get over here.
Whoa.
Get over here? How about I tell you to get out of here?
You're always following me around. At least make yourself useful. Let's spar.
You, girl. Your face sticking out around the corner. Yeah, I see you. Get the fuck over here.
What? Are you serious?
I don't joke. Draw your weapon, unless you intend to fight without one.
If you want to train, then do it on your own.
If you don't attack first, I will.
Is this Felix's way of hitting on somebody?
Okay. If you want me to knock some sense into you, who am I to say no?
Go easy on him, Dorothea.
For someone whose only aspiration is marriage, you're pretty strong.
Is this your attempt at flattery? Oh, it is, isn't it? When I was in the opera, I always trained for self-defense. Couldn't really get by without it. Nowadays, if you can't use a sword, then you're just in the way.
Perhaps I had you all wrong. I thought you were just a frivolous girl who cared only for men of status. On the contrary, you seem well aware of the realities of the world. I respect that.
Yeah, all right. I'm beat. I'm going to go sit down and relax with a cup of tea.
Felix, you should ask to join her.
You'll join me, naturally.
I will?
We just trained together. Are you really going to turn me down?
Just this once.
Yes!
Good. Let's go for tea. While we're at it, shall you treat me to a meal?
Whoa, you're pushing it, girl.
Don't get carried away.
No, you're no fun.
I think you're having a lot of fun, Dorothea. Alright, so they have still one more. Annette and Caspar. Ooh, okay.
Hey, Caspar. Can I ask you something?
Well, hey there, Annette. What's on your mind?
Is there anything you pay particular attention to on the battlefield? Stuff you make sure not to mess up? I don't want to make any major mistakes again. So I've been thinking about how I can improve. But it's trickier than I thought. I was hoping you could give me some direction.
Nothing I can think of. Sometimes you just gotta mess up.
Hmm? Really? Nothing at all?
Nah, no matter how much you prepare, you're always gonna make mistakes. All you can do is quit worrying and try your best.
I guess that does sound like something you'd say. But I'm not sure how much use it is to me.
That's too bad. It's a great way to live. You worry about messing up, and all that worry makes you nervous, right? So being nervous on the battlefield is the reason you make mistakes you'd never make in training.
Well, yes. People's lives are on the line. If I mess up, they might actually die. When I think that my failures might put everyone in danger,
Ugh, you gotta quit doubting yourself. It's not helping. You're obsessing about failures that haven't even happened. What's the point in that? Sometimes you're gonna mess up no matter how hard you train. That's life.
So what you're saying is, I should stop being afraid of failure and just try my hardest on the battlefield, like I do in training.
Seems like good advice to me.
Was I not clear on that? You just gotta deal with your mistakes when you make them.
That really is just like you, Caspar. I'm starting to feel stupid for worrying so much. You're so strong and confident. I really like that about you.
Aw, thanks, Annette. I think you're great too.
Okay, I'm gonna try following your example from now on. It's time I stopped moping around here and put everything I've got into training. Right, Caspar?
That's the spirit.
That's
Let's get
the
out there and train. I'll race you to the stables.
Yeah!
Their energies are like, they really align. Yeah, they these two together, just a bundle of energy. It's really great. Okay, we have Bunleth and Flane. We might be able to do it from the menu, or we might have to wait. Not yet. Okay, she might hit us up on the calendar section. So let's end the day. Let's do our training.
That wasn't difficult.
All right, people love me. 3 points left. But we haven't been able to train with Dimitri for a while, so we should probably do that. Let's get his lance to A+, and then let's work on his sword. Or did we want to do... Oh. We were gonna try to get his riding to... Oh, his riding isn't even... Wow. It's not even a skill that he's good at, with whatever it's called. So... When I had Dimitri as a dancer, which he's ready to go back to, by the way, someone said that if he keeps doing the horse riding, then he'll learn an ability. Is that like the S rank one that you guys are talking about? He's ready. Yes, I've been waiting. The final part of this whole thing is going to conclude. I've been waiting ever since things went south. I've been waiting for Didu to come back, for Dimitri to stop being sad, and to put Dimitri back as a dancer.
That... I'll do... Thanks.
Guess we'll try to get him this
That was helpful.
riding ability that he
was
might be
helpful.
able to get. Alright, and then Didu... Okay, let's go see Flane. What's the matter?
Oh, hello, Professor. How nice to see you. You caught me off guard. I was actually just thinking about you.
Why the sigh?
Just a moment ago? Well, I am afraid I just do not understand you. When we first met, I sensed something different about you, something mysterious. And now I am convinced your existence itself is very special. Thinking on it, I know it to be true. You have a crest that should have been lost long ago. You wield the sword of the Creator as if it is nothing. Your hair and eye color changed on that day 5 years ago, to the same sort of color as mine and my brother's.
And Rhea. What does it all mean?
I do not know. My brother refuses to speak to me of it. Since then, you have led us into battle, and thus far, we have always come out victorious. Your comrades and colleagues adore you. They believe in you, in your strength. I doubt there is a single soul who is likened to you. Who are you, really?
I don't even know.
simply do not understand. Whatever the case may be, having hair like mine is proof that there is something exceptional about you. I may as well come forward with things.
Please do. Somebody needs to.
I too am unlike others.
How so?
Surely you recall when I was targeted, specifically for my blood?
How could I forget?
I may not be special in the ways you are, but my blood is rare.
I remember that being brought up.
It seems the two of us share a special differentness. I also believe that we are bound together in some way. Of this I am certain. Therefore, I intend to stay by your side and watch over you. Your existence must be preserved at all cost.
I would rather protect you.
Certainly those are the words of a hero. Let us unite our powers. Together, we are unstoppable.
Yeah, let's go. Okay. We're making progress. Whoa, we're running fast. It's Annette's birthday. Let's host a tea party. We haven't done a tea party in a while. Sweet apple
Hello
blend.
there. I'm here for a visit. I love this tea. Is it a favorite of yours as well?
She loves it.
Thank you. It's so good.
All right, Annette.
Okay.
Gifts you'd like to receive: the courtyard couple, reliable allies. Reliable allies. I mean, is that too generic?
Wait.
Fuck. It was too generic.
Okay.
The existence of crests, school days, flame. School days.
Wow. Huh?
Shareable snacks.
Wow.
By the way, look at the snacks on that little plate thing there. What do you call that? Turntable? Tiered plate stand? Look at those little pies on the bottom, like the round ones with like blueberry or something. And then we have cheesecake. And a bunch of other good looking stuff. Yeah, tarts. Hey Blossom, how are you? Welcome.
The confectioner is back in town. Would you like to go with me sometime?
Yeah, nod. Perfect. Well, I missed one, but I'll take it.
Thanks for the treat. It was so yummy.
Yay.
Let's get right to work.
This will go well. Here is the result.
Let's go. Look at all my S ranks. We're super strong. Okay. Okay. I guess we're gonna have to stop here for the night, unfortunately. I wanted to get some battles done, but it took a little bit longer to get to this point. There were a lot of supports.